4chan and Reddit are truly the worst. Or the best, depending on how you look into it. Think about the most perverse minds in the world, skimming on how to troll the most number of people, and the higher the number, the more merrier it is. Recently, couple of conspiracies have taken new form in Reddit. Well, conspiracy is not the correct way to describe the first one. It's the Blue Whale game. If you don't know what it is, don't worry. You have saved some brain cell. But let me destroy it. You will not believe how stupid people can be. But then again, to be honest, this is mostly geared to small children and teenagers. And small children are dumb. My little one doesn't even know who Charles Babbage is or what the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow is. That being said, the Blue Whale Challenge, a social media suicide game that was a viral urban legend a few years ago, is circulating again within the UK, prompting warnings from police and fears a child could harm themselves. Nottinghamshire Police has told parents to be aware of the so-called Blue Whale Challenge, which is circulating on social media platforms such as TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram. The challenge involves teenagers being encouraged to take part in 50 challenges, then culminate in attempting suicide. The origins of Blue Whale Challenge are murky, but charities have previously advised parents to be aware of what their children are getting up to on social media and see if they detect any dramatic changes in moods or signs of self-harming. In 2016, the so-called Blue Whale Challenge began to circulate in Russia. After originally gaining traction online through viral posts, it has since been widely discredited. Although police forces in the UK fear it might be seeing a resurgence in the UK and lead to increased cases of self-harm. Most of the stories you hear have been debunked, but even if there is a small chance that one stupid teenager who might fall for this, well, if you're that teenager, please just listen to me. There are many fun things out there in the world, from opposite sex to same sex to games, and once you're old enough, some other grown-up stuff. So chill, man. Play some games, read some books. Then we had a real conspiracy. Did you know that US-based company Wayfair was trafficking children and selling them as furniture? Some super sleuth first noticed some furnitures sold by Wayfair that seems to be way too expensive by any standard. Well, by most standard. We are talking about over $20,000 for a 2-door cabinet. The mystery thickens once you noticed every single of this furniture is named after a missing girl in US, and identical units selling for different amounts. How can that be? That's not all. As you might know, most items nowadays have a SKU or stock keeping unit number. If you typed SKU numbers from those furniture into Yandex, a major Russian search engine, oh gosh, images of young hot women would appear in the search result. Is that not proof enough? Honestly, they're just pranking us. I'm sure there is a meeting that takes place with pizza and gaming rigs, and they try to outdo each other on how much they prank the world. So you got that many people to do that? Big deal. I did. Insert achievement here. I imagine that to be a very fun group. Oh, do you want to know more about Wayfair? Well, there is nothing to say. Bunch of the lost kids the initial poster mentioned have already been found. In fact, one woman who was mentioned when a cabinet with her first name was linked to her alleged disappearance as a teenager did a Facebook Live refuting the claims. She said she never went missing in the first place. Now, many retailers use common first names to name its product, Wayfair acknowledged the high prices and blamed them to either a glitch or that the product a large industrial size item. As for the SKU, well, Yandex had a problem with their code, where any random strings of numbers would return the same result, which seems to be pictures of young women. Well, Yandex seems to have corrected this issue, and the searches no longer return those results. This crazy conspiracy generated 4.4 million engagements in Instagram. Damn! What do I need to do to get that? Now, that was all prelude to my real question. What does a symbol represent, and who owns it? Let's start with one of the most hated symbols of all time. I present to you the Nazi symbol. You might know it as Nazi swastika. Would you consider it as a symbol of fascism, hate, Aryan race? Okay. How about if you remove the red? And then, if I turn it by 45 degrees. Do you know what that is? If you have guessed a swastika, well, you are right. The word swastika comes from the Sanskrit Swastika, which means good fortune or well-being. Next question. How old do you think that symbol is? Come on, take a guess. 100 years? 200 years? 500 years? 1,000 years? 2,000 years? 5,000 years? Well, wrong, and wrong. The motif, a hooked cross, appears to have first been used in Eurasia as early as 7,000 years ago, perhaps representing the movement of the sun through the sky. To this day, it is a sacred symbol in Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Odinism. It is a common sight on temples or houses in India or Indonesia. Swastikas also have an ancient history in Europe, appearing on artifacts from pre-Christian European cultures. Now, why the hell should we give up over 7,000 years of culture just because some asshole decided to use it for his cause? By doing that, don't we just let fascism win? Instead, shouldn't we be saying, no, you can't have it? Recently, we have seen Pepe the Frog debacle. According to Know Your Meme, users began creating their own Pepe images in 2008 in forums on the image board site 4chan. This unassuming cartoon frog became so established as a racist symbol that the Anti-Defamation League labeled Pepe the Frog as a hate symbol in September 2016, but said most instances of Pepe were not used in a hate-related context. Since then, Pepe's creator has expressed his dismay at Pepe's being used as a hate symbol and has sued organizations for doing so. Then, I win. I mean, the idea I stand for wins. In 2019, Pepe was used by protesters in the 2019-20 Hong Kong protest as a symbol of liberty and resistance. Protesters, especially children and teens, see it as a cartoon that looks funny and captures the hearts of so many youngsters. It is a symbol of youth participations in this movement. So there, a symbol has all the power, but it is the power that we give them. Smashing an atom can destroy cities, and it can also light it with minimal pollution. What do you think of the OK symbol? If you had asked me this question, say 2 years ago, I would say that it's a symbol that means okay in most of the world. But do be careful in Latin America, where it has connotation towards anal sex, or in Middle East where it's considered as evil eye. How about inward-facing peace sign or the V shape? Well, whatever you do, don't do it in my country, cause in UK, that's equal to giving someone the finger. Thumbs up All good, right? Well, unless you're in Afghanistan, where it is also up yours. It's strange how almost every sign is up yours somewhere. Closed fist? Well, you think of solidarity. But in Pakistan, guess. Yes, it is up yours. Gesturing at someone to come over? Well, don't do that in Singapore, Japan or Philippines. It either symbolizes death or in case of Philippines, is reserved only to call a dog. Dozen roses? Well, this one got me in trouble. As in Russia, even stands for funeral. Damn! Who knew? Last year, ADL added OK hand gestures to list of hate symbols. And it is crap like this is why I don't care about ADL anymore. And I'm not even white. When Anti-Defamation League does this kind of stupid stunt, it takes focus away from what might be actually bad. This OK sign started as an online joke to take something innocent and widely used gesture and pretend there was a sinister hidden meaning behind it. So when you do the OK sign with your fingers pointing upwards, apparently those three fingers represent W, where the loop and your palm represents P, WP or white power. Why not bloody Winnie the Pooh? China would ban it immediately. And guess what? We're just as bad. Hashtag free Tibet. Anyway, the joke was successful. Both far left and far right started believing that OK sign is changing its meaning. It was even used in court by the suspect in Christchurch killing after he killed 51 people after opening fire on 2 mosques. Now, where else is this sign used? Well, in yoga, it's a symbol to demonstrate inner perfection. Something I learned in Philippines, divers use that symbol to indicate everything is okay. Who would have guessed? In Venezuela and Brazil, it means your butt. Damn. In case you didn't know, I used to be a gamer. Nowadays, I don't get to play as much, but I do buy games regularly and keep up with all the recent news. Recently, Infinity Ward have quietly removed the OK gesture from Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Warzone. In that game, you're able to assign hand gestures to your character for use out on the battlefield. The OK gesture, which was added to the game earlier in 2020, was used by some as a trick shot of sorts, the player character doing the OK sign with the left hand while firing their gun with their right. Call of Duty's social media and subreddits would often carry clips of players doing the OK sign as they ended a multiplayer match or a game of Warzone with the final kill. They wrote, "This is an effort we begin with launch and we need to do a better job," adding, "We're issuing thousands of daily bans on racist and hate-oriented names, but we know we have to do more." The company also stated that they would be adding additional resources to monitor and identify racist content, increase the number of hourly bans, and adding filters and improve restrictions on name changes. If there was ever a time for a slow clap, this would be it. Well, I guess I made my feelings pretty clear throughout this video. What do you think? Do you think it is okay to remove the OK gesture? Following the slippery slope, where does it end? I really want to know how you feel about it. Please let me know in the comments below. If you have liked this content, you will find similar videos in my channel. Please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment, as it would help this channel grow. You can even be a superstar and subscribe. As always, have a safe day. Signing off.